So here I am in the heart of Fern Canyon down in the Redwood National and State Forests. And this is an amazing place to visit. I've never seen so many ferns centralized in such a small location. And to get to Fern Canyon, you have to register a day ahead. Registration's free, but you have to go online and register because there's limited parking, and this can be quite a popular spot. So they ask for online registration, and it does require a fee to get this far in. Usually a national park pass will do it, or you can pay at the booth as you come into this, and it's about a 8-mile drive along a gravel road with a couple of stream crossings. Nothing bad, but it's a little bit of an adventure to get here. And once you get here, get to the parking lot, it's about a 1/10 of a mile walk on a flat trail, and then you end up here in the canyon, and it is just a magnificent sight. Very primordial, primeval, whatever words you want to use to describe it, but it's just fascinating. What I will usually do in a location like this is I will walk through with one particular lens, and then I'll stop, change lenses, and do another pass through because my eyes see differently depending on the lens that I'm using. Right now I'm using my Fujifilm 16-55 and just sort of working some wider establishing shots of the canyon. I'm then going to go back through and work with my 50-140, and then probably throw on my 60mm macro to do some close-up work of these beautiful ferns. Alright, I'm done with my first pass through the canyon with my wide angle. Now I'm starting to put on my 70-200 or 50-140 in Fujifilm speak. And what caught my eye as I'm heading back down the canyon, I'm going a lot slower, number one, but number two, the light is hitting a little bit differently. And what really caught my eye was this wall of ferns, and the way the ferns are illuminated just as almost as a repeating pattern against the wall. It's really kind of a cool effect. So I'm going to work and compose this photograph and show it to you here and see if you like what I did. And the next shot that caught my eye, because again, I'm looking with a different sort of vision with my 50-140 on, I saw these 3 little maidenhair ferns hanging over the water, and I could see just a slight reflection of the fronds over the water. And that initially caught my eye, so I came over here and I set up the shot. And it may or it may not work, but I want to give it a go and see what I can do and see if I can make the vision of what stopped me and the reason why I stopped come to life in my photograph. So here, let's take a look at this shot and see if it works for you. And the thing to really pay attention to here is, even though the ferns technically aren't moving, there is a slight breeze that's coming up and down the canyon here, and it's causing the fronds to move. And this is going to be especially true when I throw on my macro lens. I really have to bump up my ISO to get a fast enough shutter speed to stop this slight movement of the ferns. Alright, so I put on my macro lens now. It's a 60mm macro, and I'm really narrowing my vision. I'm looking for textures, patterns, design lines, contrast between two different leaf types, that kind of stuff. And right now I just found this great little clumping of maidenhair ferns, and there's one little arc that comes across the top, and that little arc is what caught my attention. and made me stop and take a photograph. And I really, again, had to bump up my ISO because there's just a slight breeze. And when you're working, especially with macro lenses at very close focusing distances, any slight movement of your subject, it really is exacerbated. And so for me, I had to really bump up my ISO, I think up to like 3200 to get a fast enough shutter speed to stop the motion. So take a look at this shot. Let me know what you think. And even right here, what stopped me was the structure of these branches and the leaves. You can see how they're just a beautiful example. There's lots of repeating patterns, some great textures, and with the water as a backdrop underneath it, it made for a great, great still shot. And even in dry conditions, I use my circular polarizer. It is some of these leaves, especially some of the broadsword ferns, and they have a waxy surface over them, and they really can be quite glary. And so using a polarizer, even on dry days in the forest, really helps to cut that glare.